Professor Wiseguy here with an important question about higher education. Long before you decide on a major or determine which school should become your alma mater, you need to ask yourself a simple question about college education. Is it worth it? So what do you think? Is going to college worth it? Worth the cost and the time and the hard work? Well, how would you know? Well, what if I asked you to get dressed up and to walk around a residential area, knocking on doors and talking to people? Is that worth it? No, I'm not suggesting that you join the Jehovah's Witnesses. But I suppose in those people's minds, what they're doing is worth it. Instead, I'm talking about the sort of walking around that kids do on October 31st. They get dressed up and they walk to a house, knocking, saying, "Trick or treat," and gathering up candy before heading to the next door. Is it worth it? When I was 10 years old, the idea of walking half a mile to gather up a pound of candy was a no-brainer. Of course it was worth it. Today, I'd be much more inclined to just go to the store and buy the candy I like. In short, the time and effort involved in trick-or-treating just doesn't seem worthwhile for the free candy that you get. Plus, most middle-aged trick-or-treaters get the skunk eye when they show up at a door. At least that's what I hear. Now, okay, what does Halloween have to do with whether college is worth it? Now, I'm drawn here because we're measuring worth. What is the yardstick that we employ? All too often, we default to measuring the worth, the value of a thing in dollars. You could pay $8 a day to buy your lunch, or you could pay $2 a day plus a bit of preparation and planning to make your lunch. Is the effort worthwhile? Well, if money is the only yardstick, then the decision is simple. $6 a day saves us $30 for a work week. That's about $125 every month, or better than $1,500 for the year. Well, that's awesome. So is it worth it to take your lunch to work or to school? Well, if money is our only concern, then yes. But are there other matters in play here? Sure, taking your lunch might be inconvenient. It might require prep that you really can't do right now. It might not taste as good or satisfy as well. It might be awkward socially when everyone else is buying their meal. Does that mean that taking your lunch isn't worth it? No, but you can't really set up an equation that solves for a dollar amount. Well, what about trick-or-treating? Take some 10-year-old and tell them that you'll buy them a bag of candy, their favorite candy, if they pretend that Halloween isn't a thing. Will they go for it? My guess is they won't. What if you offer 2 bags of candy? Much more than they'd hope to collect by traipsing around the neighborhood on a chilly October evening. They probably won't jump at that offer. You see, the question of whether trick-or-treating is worth it is not naturally answered with a dollar amount or even a candy amount. In the complex economics of kiddom, Halloween's value isn't measured in dollars or Snickers bars. It's measured in the precious commodity of fun. So you're wondering if I'm ever going to get back to that question about whether college is worth it, right? Well, sometimes when people ask that question, the answer goes to that default of money. You can take my word for it, or you can check it out for yourself. Type "is college worth it" into your favorite search engine, because you totally use Bing, right? What results do you get? When I searched that, all of the results I got assumed that I meant to express the value of higher education with a dollar amount. Is college worth it? Of course it is. An average college graduate makes nearly twice as much as those who stopped after high school. So to put that into Halloween terms, college graduates get a much bigger bag of candy than those who stopped school after walking across the stage in high school. But is this question of value, this question of college's worth, really just about candy? I mean money? I'd like to hope that it isn't. After all, I know a good number of people who have made very good money but never graduated from college. And I know a good number of people who have college degrees, even advanced degrees, but who have struggled to make a decent living. So is it worth it in terms of dollars? Well, not for those people. Hopefully, though, college is worth more than just dollars, and its value requires some yardstick other than just money. It'll take more than candy to measure it, too. It'll take more than fun. And the problem with all that, the reason that everyone seems to just immediately try to measure the value of education in dollars, is that its truest value doesn't lend itself to things that can be easily weighed or counted or otherwise measured. They can't even be easily identified. Still, I think they exist and are quite real. Now, ideally, you'll meet people in college, people who might prove to be your friends for decades to come, people who will share interests and concerns and ways of thought with you. How do you value 2 or 3 or 10 enduring friends in terms of money? You should become a different sort of thinker during your college years. You should become less easily fooled or more appreciative of nuance. You'll hopefully develop the ability to construct and understand arguments in all manner of fields, as well as becoming a relative specialist in your own field. How many dollars is that worth? College will expose you to a host of different things, arts and sciences in the broad sense, with each of these categories presenting itself in a wide range of flavors. It'll help you appreciate aspects of sociology or chemistry or art history or accounting that you had never considered before. Can you put a price tag on that? A good trip through college should help you appreciate the wonders of Brahms without losing the ability to enjoy Bruno Mars. It should allow you to get something good from War and Peace, but still look forward to a new Star Wars movie. It should put you in front of Jackson Pollock without closing off dogs playing poker. Actually, I'm not sure about that one. Can you boil that down to a dollar figure? College should leave you infuriated by local TV news reporters as they display their utter inability to grasp the rudiments of logic or to fathom the simplest aspects of science. It should cause you to sputter as they fail to ask the incredibly obvious questions that any fool would ask. It'll help you realize that hair product apparently does bad things to mental faculties. Could you attach a dollar value to that? There is, of course, more that college properly experienced should do for you. How many dollars is all of that worth? I can't answer that, but more importantly, I recognize that trying to reduce the value of college to dollars is to utterly miss the point. That, too, is a habit of mind that I wouldn't possess had I not obtained an education. So is college worth it? Well, I'm not sure the answer to that is as utterly obvious as asking a 10-year-old whether Halloween is worth it. But I am sure that the best answer to that question won't have a dollar sign in front of it any more than trick-or-treating can be valued in fun-sized candy bars. My answer is that it is worth the money, the time, and the effort. But of course, I've spent my entire life hanging around higher education. What else am I going to say? On the other hand, being willing to ask and attempt an answer of that question is something that only someone with an education mindset would do. Now, if you've stuck around with this video to the end, then perhaps you've provided your own answer. Well, I'd love to hear your ideas on the non-monetary value of college. Or am I just misguided in suggesting that the dollar answer is not the meaningful one? Let me know in the comments down yonder. That's all I have for you at this moment. So you can just get out of here.